This is something that we all kind of know was going on, but we haven't really had any confirmation. And to be fair, this still isn't confirmation right now. It's just rumors as far as we know. But there is a little bit more to back up about this. So I will get to that in a little bit. So Disney culture won't change because employees are silenced. Executive thinks they are too big to fail. Company suffers massive brain drain. And like I said, this is kind of what I've been saying all along about the company is that there's a problem with the leadership at the company that needs to be removed. I mean, from Bob Iger on down, pretty much every management position needs to be changed out because they don't know what they're doing. But let's go more into this article right here. So this is coming from WDW Pro. Which if you haven't checked out his channel, I recommend you do that. He has a lot of good information on what's going on with Disney, but he has two sources, or he has a source really high up in the company, or very, very highly connected inside the industry, very high. So that's how he describes the source. And obviously the source is going to be anonymous. But what he's actually reporting in this email to WDW Pro is corroborated by two other anonymous sources, and it is kind of backed up by other articles and stories talking about Disney. So we can, I mean, I'm not going to say with a pinch of salt right now, but I'd say a big heaping of salt. You can take this rumor right now. So Disney is in trouble because sports and parks can no longer finance the losses being incurred elsewhere. And that's true because before in the past that there's sports broadcasts and the theme parks and things like that were bringing in a lot of the revenue as well as their TV stuff. But now that's not really the case anymore. I mean, their sports, they say ESPN went woke. Yeah, in a bit, either way, the ratings are down, and just sports in general has kind of gone down in ratings. The park attendance is down. They've also lost a lot of Imagineers and other creatives that were responsible for that. And not only that, but they're also getting competition with this new park that's going to go up in Oklahoma. You got Universal, Epic Universe coming out in about a couple years. So not only are they losing the talent, but those talented people behind it, the Imagineers, are going elsewhere and doing something else that's going to directly impact what's happening with Disney. But like I said, the sports and parks can't sustain their losses, and their losses are massive right now. I mean, this is from June 27th, so you can tack on another $300 million on this from like the losses from Dial of Destiny, and we still got the Haunted Mansion to contend with. The Marvels is set to come out in a few months, so really, I mean, they've lost over $1 billion within the last year at the box office. So yeah, you have this kind of thing where you just have massive loss after loss. And what's the problem with this? Well, yeah, it's just the culture at the company where people aren't allowed to actually speak up and say what's going on. And we have this other one right now. Where is that? Right here. And this is obviously one person's opinion right now, but yeah, you have a Disney employee who says like, no, there are people or conservatives working for the company that aren't allowed to actually say what they want, otherwise they get fired. And that's kind of going with what this says right here. Now, is it possible this person kind of is repeating these other things that's been said? Yeah, sure, you can say that. So you just have to ask yourself whether you believe this or not, whether it makes sense, because I do find it kind of hard to believe that a company as size of Disney seems to have no outspoken people with at least, I want to even say conservative opinions, but just liberal opinions, not far left opinions. Because everyone who actually publicly speaks out for Disney has a certain set of talking points, whether it's the lowly cast member at the parks versus the executives. They all have like this certain line that they toe. Whereas anyone who you would think there would be some people who would deviate from that a little bit, but apparently we don't see any of them right now unless they're talking anonymously. And that kind of coincides with what's actually being said here. It's like they're not allowed to speak up right now. If something's going wrong with the movie, they can't talk about it. And this article does even point out things like, look at what they did with Little Mermaid. It's not there's a lot of problems with the movie. The race swapping is not really an issue right now. The only reason that's really done is just so the studio can use it as a shield, because a lot of people always complain about remakes, but when you race swap a character, well, then you have a defense. You could say, oh, if you criticize our movie, you're racist, and then you get a lot of brainlets out there who will defend that movie even though they know deep down that it is crap. But yeah, you watch the original movie, you watch the remake, and it's night and day which one's better. But yet people can't say that, and they can't even point out what's wrong with it because they get ostracized, because you get a lot of fragile egos working in the upper managements of those companies or of Disney and the different divisions, and they just won't allow any dissent, which is contradictory to what Walt Disney actually did. He fostered a culture where people can actually speak up and give their opinion or whatever, and that's when they produce their best stuff underneath Walt Disney. And now you have a culture that really doesn't allow that to happen right now. And until they actually change up their leadership, or they, I don't know, kind of get a backbone, or they put aside their ego, so to speak, you're not going to actually see any difference right now. And they do think that they're probably too big to fail, as in like, oh, well, it's not like a Bud Light where we're going to go under because people can easily just choose to watch something else or go to a different theme park or whatever. But you're looking at what Bob Iger is doing now, because the company is so far in the red that they're looking to sell off parts of their property in order to pay off their debts. And I think we're going to see more and more of that going on until there's really not much left. I mean, is it going to go bankrupt? No, but I mean, it's going to really diminish what the company is. And ultimately, I've said this before with Bob Iger, is he started off with the company. Then after that, after he became CEO with the company, he just started buying up a bunch of franchises and other property. And when he finally does leave the company, he'll probably leave with less than what he started with. And that's a result of his management style. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.